Hi, I'm Jeff Brown, certified trainer with the Center for Nonviolent Communication and NVC Academy presenter. And I'm excited to facilitate a fishbowl discussion on white privilege. I'm excited because I'm eager to learn more than I already know, which I come to realize all the time is not as much as I thought I knew, about the realities of living in today's world and the privileges that have come to me through no effort of my own. And most importantly, the impact this has on me, an unconscious impact that I have come to see has a severe impact on me in terms of my own well-being and happiness, even though I am a member of a quote-unquote privileged class. As a male, person from the United States, a white person or European American, this is about the most privileged class of person that there is on the planet today. And the first 20 years of my life, I was largely oblivious to what this meant. I was aware at some level of racial tension and tension between genders. But what I wasn't aware of until recently in my life is the impact this has on me as a person who has more privilege than most. And the two ways that it affects me are practically and spiritually. If I am unwittingly contributing to a world around me in which there are systemic advantages to some people based upon their race, gender, or ethnicity, then I am contributing to creating a world of tension and conflict. And there are others out there who, through the pain of the inequality that exists, are going to be advocating for their needs in a way that affects me. It impacts me. It makes it more difficult for me to live a happy life and to pursue happiness in the way that I would like. So on a very practical basis, when I am contributing consciously or unconsciously to a world of inequality, there are negative consequences that come to me, even if on the surface, superficially, it might appear that I am the beneficiary most of the time of these structural advantages. The other way that it affects me is on a spiritual level. And in this case, by spiritual, I mean that I am impacted when there are others around me who are suffering, if I allow myself to be present to that suffering. And actually, even if I don't intentionally allow myself to have empathy and awareness and compassion for the suffering of others, it's still affecting me. And for myself, I have come to believe through my experience that my life purpose cannot be achieved at the expense of other people. Or at the very least, I will not be happy about it. That it is through collaboration, it is through consideration of other people's needs, and it is through this synergy that can exist between me and other people. That's the energy that I need to bring about the most happiness and satisfaction in my life and to fulfill my personal mission in being here on the world. So I've come to see that on both of these bases, on the practical and a spiritual level, I'm very interested in having discussions about white privilege and other forms of privilege and other structural realities that exist in our world that affect me and that affect all of us, I believe. So I'm very honored to have been invited to facilitate, to lead this discussion. This fishbowl discussion, mine specifically is on white privilege. There are others that will be leading on other forms of privilege. So I'm excited to hopefully create a space to bring about more discussion among people so that we can explore the impact that privilege has on us all. So through my life experience, I have come to see that there are many systemic realities that are largely invisible. There are things that are not easy to measure or see or feel or taste, and yet they are entirely real. I think it's the most visible to the people who lack privilege, who under these systemic realities suffer due to less access to resources or discrimination or judgment, stereotypes, things like this that diminish their ability to pursue their happiness and to pursue their life purpose. So it's more visible to them. It's less visible to those who have an advantaged position, such as myself as I see it. So one of the most powerful things that I've gone through is to discover through conversation, through exploration, both self-exploration and with others who come from different backgrounds than myself, and to listen to them talk about what it's been like for them to live in the world that I live in. Of course, we all live in the same world, except our experiences can be vastly different. So through this entire series of fishbowls, and then ultimately the full program, I'm very excited to be part of illuminating, bringing to light more of what these experiences are like. And I'm actually happy that we're beginning the fishbowl series with white privilege, because I think it's important for those of us with advantages, structural advantages, to make ourselves vulnerable and to show that we are willing to explore these issues. I find that in many cases, people with advantages get irritated when they hear conversations about systemic discrimination, things like this. They get irritated. They don't want to bother with it. They get upset. Well, if it's hard for people with advantages to talk about it, just think of how hard it might be for people without advantages to talk about it. So I'm very excited to create an environment to help set the stage for us to have an authentic discussion about what it's like for us to live in a world in which we have privilege, and what the impacts of living in this world are, and to uncover some of the things that maybe we haven't thought of before, but that can bring us more into resonance with our entire community of people with whom we live. So I'm looking forward to seeing you there.